It looked a little tight at first, but Chelsea end up pulling away against Real Betis, and they win the Conference League. A huge win for them. They also have UCL. A lot to be happy about if you're a Chelsea fan. Like I said, they win the Conference League, and they clinch the UCL on Sunday. In my opinion, it's a success for Chelsea. Yes, you want the team to be better. You want them to be in a better position because of the pedigree that this club, demands. But at the same time, when you look at the entire situation, new manager and a bunch of young players, a bunch of new players as well, and I think it's a pretty decent finish. Yes, they were battling for the title around November, December. They were really pushing Liverpool at one point, but we all knew that was really smoke, to be honest. There was realistically no way that they were going to keep that up, and they fell off a little bit, but again, they got it together down the stretch, and they finished fourth. They won a pivotal game against Forest on Sunday, and again, they have the Champions League now. So I think it's overall a solid season for them, and they still get some type of European trophy. I think that's a good season for Chelsea, if you ask me, when you look at all the circumstances at least. And I wanted to give Maresca credit as well. This guy's been battling the criticism all year, similar to Ainge, except for it's his first season. A lot of Chelsea fans did not like this guy. They didn't like this guy. At points of the season, when they were really starting to go on that losing streak in the second half of the season, some of them even wanted him out, which is typical Chelsea fans' mentality. But I'm glad they stuck with him, because if you want to grow a club, this is just, I don't know. I know it's more for European sports, but firing guys midway through their first season, where do you think that's realistically going to get you as a club? Unless you have some, crazy S-tier team, I just don't see how that really works for you, because you destroy all the continuity between the club and the players, and it all gets messed up. You have to get a new system in. Like, there's just so much. So I wanted to give Maresca some credit, because again, he has battled against some of the noise, if you want to call it that, some of the noise online through the supporters, and he's really kind of at least put a good foot forward moving into his second season, because again, he did win them a trophy, even if it wasn't the most prestigious trophy. They still won, and again, he got them to the Champions League, where somewhere that Chelsea hasn't been in a couple years at this point. So I think, again, if you are a Chelsea fan, you're allowed to have your standards, and I understand for all the history that your club has, but I think you really should be happy with the overall result of this season. So looking into the game, the first half really wasn't too much there, other than Betis did end up scoring within the first 10 minutes. We had to kind of see how Chelsea would respond, and there wasn't too much there in that first half. But all of a sudden, that second half just completely opened up. And credit to Cole Palmer, and that's the guy I really want to talk about in this video. What a game for this guy. Literally, the commentators were talking about how, he's had a rough second half of the season, and they aren't wrong. He did have lower numbers than he would have liked, and he's even admitted that. But he had some just beautiful crosses today. He had a beautiful cross over to Enzo, perfectly headed in. That was the goal that at least tied it up. And then only a few minutes later, he had a beautiful, even better cross to Nico Jackson, and that was just sent into the goal. And again, Palmer got them going. That's the creativity you want to see from Palmer. Yes, of course, you like to see him score as well, but he is quite the playmaker. He's got one of the best. He's really one of the best at crossing in the Prem when he's on, and I would really like to see how he builds on this next year, because he's going to be playing UCL football. He's going to also, of course, try to make some type of run at the Premier League. I'm not expecting first, of course, but Chelsea obviously have some momentum now. I mean, they finished fourth, so if you told me that they maybe finish third, depending on how their transfer window goes this year, I wouldn't be shocked. But I just want to see how Palmer responds. He's such a fun player, and I think the league is better when he is playing at his highest level. So I think him potentially responding within the league, and then him playing on those biggest matches in the UCL, I'm just excited to see how he bounces back next year. And to end the game, Sancho ended up scoring not too much longer later, and then Caicedo had a goal right after the 90th minute. Chelsea ended up winning the game 4-1. I was super happy for Sancho specifically, because again, it just looks like a trend we've been seeing with Man United. When you leave Man United or you get out of there for a little bit, your career usually tends to get better, at least right now. So I'm happy for him that he at least got something out of this season. I'm curious to see, will he stay at Chelsea? Will Chelsea end up buying him long term? I mean, it seems like he likes to be there, and it seems like the Chelsea fans do like him, which is somewhat of a tall task, again, based off that fan base. So I'm curious to see, will he stay with Chelsea? I wouldn't hate the move for them. It's just another attacker that they have. Of course, they have a very tight room at this point of attackers, but still, I think Sancho provides some type of he's overall a playmaker. He can score. I just like what he does, so I wouldn't mind if Chelsea kept him, but I'm curious to see what they do with him moving forward. And then this was the last game of Antony at Betis. It's a shame because he was so good for them once he left United. Again, a similar trend, leave United and you do better. But he did a lot better in this season, and I was just very happy for him overall as a human because he's dealt with a lot of trolling on the internet the last year and a half. I mean, that's what happens when you underperform at Manchester United for that price tag. But I'd love to see Betis buy him permanently if that's doable over the transfer window because he flourished so much there, and he really just looked like a completely different player. He looked like he had his confidence back. His form was back. So I would love to see him hopefully stay with Betis, but we will have to see how the transfer window goes again. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Just a quick recap of the game. The game really wasn't that crazy again until Chelsea kind of came back in the game. But I think more importantly, it's just they won a European trophy this year. They salvaged the season. You get into the Champions League. Again, you don't win the Prem, you're not winning the Champions League like typical Chelsea, but at the same time, based off of the last 2 to 3 years of what Chelsea has been, I would deem this season as a overall success, especially in, again, the first season of the manager. You just have to take these baby steps. It can't just be from 0 to 100. You have to gradually grow, and I feel like Chelsea are doing that, and that's what today showed. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like. If you like my type of content, feel free to subscribe. And if you have any thoughts down below on the match, please drop them down in the comment section. I will respond. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace, guys.